Everyone, and welcome back to the LangShack. So today we're going to be talking about a how they say how you're doing in Lenape. So this should have been the first lesson, the very first lesson, but I freshly translated some other things and used them, and it's okay. I'm doing this on desktop today because I've been doing all the other lessons on the mobile version because I figured that most people are going to use mobile. I personally prefer to use desktop. That's just me, just because it's a little bit easier for me, and I also can get easy use of this feature right here where I can see what the words are when I hover over them. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So tamike means come in. So this is what you'll say when you're inviting somebody in to your home or wherever you're at. If you want to say this to more than one group of or of people, you can put you can say tamikek. So this would be spelled with a KW after this E right here. And lalamatapi. So this one means literally to sit down. The law turns it into it turns the meaning from sit down to leisurely sitting down. I decided to use that here because I wanted to have a little bit of fun. So if you look up La Limatapi in the Tagalog dictionary, you're gonna get a translation as something like leisurely sitting down. If you look up just sit down, you'll get Limatapi. So luma is a stem that deals with a lot of thinking or feeling, but it doesn't actually mean thinking or feeling. Thinking is like I can't think of the word right now, and feeling is mulsi, which is used right here. So that's combined with ta. That ta is the same ta that's used right here as an intensifier, but ta is a very versatile root in Lenape. And ta can be a locative word, it can mean to go, it it can even mean where or how in some cases. So it's a very versatile stem. And because ahpi means to be located at, ahpi is a verb that requires the use of the auxiliary ta. It combines with tapi. So this literally, limatapi, which is the word for sitting down, as I mentioned earlier from the Takelanapi dictionary, this will literally, etymologically speaking, mean something like to be located at the place that you're thinking or feeling. It doesn't make any sense here, but I just want to explain this etymologically. And then, so before we move on with this, so this ulamasi, so kulamasi means how are you? Kulamasi hach means how are you or how are you doing? This la that's in here, this is the same la that's found right here in nulamasi. This is the same ula that's found here, the same ul that's right there. So this means that you're in a good mood. Good. I don't know what hatanami is. Couldn't tell you. And ula lindam deals with basically every single emotion you could think of. It has lindam in the stem form. So and then you have ula, so that's good. So I just want to explain that so that as we go through this, you know what that is. And then hutch or hetch means it's a question particle. So this would be like the ka in Japanese or the mu in Turkish, or the li in Russian. Lots of languages have their or hal in Arabic. So that would be kind of like that equivalent of you're asking an explicit question. And then on the second line, wanashi means thank you usually. It also has a host of different meanings just like ta, but it doesn't cover as much ground as ta. But ta here acts as an intensifier. So wanashi ta means thank you very much. And then you have nulamosi, which is I am good. This is the response to kulamosi. If you want to say I am not well, you might say mata nulamosi, which means I'm not good, or Nemachi Malsi, I assume would mean I'm not doing well because Machi means bad. And Malsi means to feel, as you can see right here. And then you have Kepe. So for now, we're going to go through what this pet is in a minute. But Ke means you. So Kepe means you also. And Nepe means me also, or me too. And then you have Hatch again, which is question particle. Kulamalsi, are you also doing okay? So you could probably say Kulamosi Kepa Hatch. Lenape has a very free syntax or sentence order. And then you have nula mulsi, which is the response to kula mulsi. And then the next line here, you have nul hatanami. So ul hatanami means that you are in a good mood or that you're delighted. So I couldn't explain to you what hatanami is. Hatanami. Yeah, I couldn't really explain, but it seems to be another. It seems to be, according to the dictionary, it seems to be related to this lindam, which are both they're both suffixes that deal with feeling, so or emotions. Like Quinka Hatanami is are you having a good time? So just an example. And Ellie, this is another word like ta, but Ellie usually means because. It can also mean how, as in like, show me how it's done, not how as in how are you, as a conjunction or connector. And it can also mean as. So, do as we will, like it as a connector. So Ellie functions as a connector essentially. There's also another word that's really similar to this, but it doesn't. It means fewer things. And then this one, to see you, Newilan. I I can't explain to you the object forms of Lenape right now because they don't function like European languages typically do. So Newilan is to see you. So the Newe or Neyo means the ne neu or ne that means to see. This Ewilan, I don't know what function that serves in this, but the whole thing means to see you. So in future lessons, I'll explain how these object forms are done. Like if you're trying to say, I like you, he did something to us, we we sit, just that whole like, he loves us, we love you, they love they love y'all, like that kind of thing. That it's a little bit confusing right now, and even I'm still trying to learn from it. So I'm learning with y'all. And then in the last line, nula vendam eli nevelan. So nula vendam means that you're happy. Again, this lindam is related to a wide array of different emotions. You will see this lindam a lot in Lenape. So that's all for the dialogue. I do want to explain a little bit about this. So whenever you're expressing also as well or to like too in Lenape, typically if you want to say something like and my house as well, you could say ok. Ok is the word for and in Lenape. So if you want to say my house as well, you could say ok na wigwam. Wigwam is like a wigwam, but wigwam is the name is the word for house in Lenape. So ok na wigwam, and my house too, something like that. So typically speaking, for most of the forms, at least for the first and second person, for both the singular and the plural, the pa, na is I, ka is you, nepa me too, kepa you too, and neka is a little bit different, but in the they form you still have this epa here. So walk. So walk is a plural marker. Is a for the third person plural form. And then you have NECA. So this would typically be ok NECA, but NECA can be used by itself because there are lemmas which have ch NECA means and he also will. Like that's what it means. So the fact that this has been used with alt in front of it means that you can use NECA as he, she, or it also, or it too. And then for us, so Enna is simply the second part of the circumfix for the first person plural forms when you're doing a verb. So that it's just combining with penna here or with pet. So penna. Same with this ewo. That's what you would use when you're conjugating verbs as well. So pewo. And then in the third person plural, I didn't see Nunny in the Talking Lenape dictionary, but this is in Mission, Delaware. And Kepwalk, I don't think I saw that either, the Talking Lenape dictionary. But I'm of the opinion that you if the language is not being spoken anymore by anyone, I believe there's like one teacher who teaches Lenape in the world, like a fluent speaker. I don't know if they're native speakers, but I don't even know. I don't know who they are, but that's just what I read somewhere. Um, but so depending on how people speak, I'm just like, if these are words in Mission, Delaware, and it's no longer used, I mean, let's bring all the words back. I mean, they're words, might as well use them, right? That's how I approached Maltese. So I have exercises for these that you can do. You can rearrange these in the correct order. I got answers right here, and I also have these forms as well. For also, feel free to practice these. Go to the forum. You can join the regular room, the regular welcome room, or the Lenape room. If you want to practice your Lenape there, I'm here. I'll practice with you because I'm trying to learn this language as well. I'm trying to create new speakers for it. So if you're interested in learning, learn from this and go to the forum to practice. And I also have a pronunciation guide. I've only put the diacritics of letters that we're using in this dialogue so that you can kind of understand how to pronounce the stuff in this. And then I also have footnotes as well, so that if you're studying on your own, you don't have to use the Talking Lenape dictionary if you don't want to. You can just use this guide because I assure you, I've looked at all this stuff, and I've translated all these to the best of my ability. So I have these footnotes throughout the dialogues. So feel free to do that. I'll be posting up this video to video view. So if you ever want to just go through this is an audio file that I made. It's like a Pimsleur. It's like a Pimsleur Michelle Thomas like recording for this. And then if you want to check out the grammar, the only reason I have this here is so you can see these tables. So you can see if you like these tables right here, you like this kind of thing, then you can use plain view for that. So that's all I've got today. Thank you all for watching. Learn some Lenape. Practice in the comment section. Practice in the forum. Let's learn this language together, and I will see you all in the next lesson, which will be about how to ask for your name and how to introduce yourself in Lenape. All right. See y'all.